Welcome, everybody. Hi, I'm
Hello.
TERI, and this is Diana, my dear friend. And we are coming to you live today. So we're taking questions and we're talking about
Shaking. Oh,
shaking, shaking it up.
shake your money maker.
Yeah. Hey, Annie Bear. Hi, Barbara.
All right.
Good
Birthday
to see
girl.
you.
Annie.
Yeah.
Yes, Annie. Happy Chinese New Year. The
Mhm.
Lunar New Year.
Yeah. Fire horse today to honor and shows respect. Yeah. I forgot I got to post some stuff too. Yeah, lots of energy coming in with the fire horse today, isn't there?
There is. Oh, like I was just telling you this morning outside my window, there was a whole lot of something going on. Couldn't tell you what it was. All I know is it was a lot of green energy coming in. I also could have had Raphael on board that ship.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense with the green light.
It was the camera on my phone would only filter out the green, most of the green, so you can hardly see it. It looks blue, but it was already like it was so bright. It was like if this is getting to be daylight, what the hell is blocking me from starting to see daylight? Because the day is getting longer. I had to think
Yeah,
the days are getting longer. So the light that was outside the window was not the natural light. And it wasn't the light from the floodlights that are out there or the decorative light on the front porch. And so I was like baffled. How far can I see? You know how when you're waiting for your vision to clear and there's really no depth perception, you're just in it.
yeah.
That's it was like if this is a fog, it's in the house. it
Wow, that's so
was
cool.
it was totally unexpected.
Yeah. We were talking about that backstage, and I thought it might be reptilians too, like reptilian guards. But that's
What?
another idea. But I like Raphael and reptilian guards.
I do too. I do too. Because the reptilians I see are always handsome and good looking and lovely headgear and
Yeah, very
or
muscular.
markings.
Funny how our
Tubular, man.
vision.
Tubular.
Yeah, baby. Stunning beyond compare.
Yeah, right.
Um, Annie Bear, good morning. Yeah, Barbara Berkman has a birthday today, the
Yeah.
17th. And we've got Lunar New Year, and luckily you're an astrologer, Diana. So we got a lot coming in, don't we, on this Lunar New Year?
We sure do. And it's today and it's tomorrow and it's the 19th and on the 20th. They're all Neptune and Saturn are at that 0 degrees, but they're going to be at 0 degrees and 44 minutes of solar arc. So they will be exactly together on the 20th. And so there's so much energy. And because it's Aquarius and all those tense vibrations, what is our better thing to do, right? Shake it out, shake it out. That's why I called it the threshold. We are on the threshold of the dawning of Aquarius, but the thresher separates the seeds, the grain from the plant, and
Yeah,
you got to shake it or beat it. And all of those things are exactly what we need to do to release energy, right?
100%. It might be why we were singing songs before we came on.
Yeah.
And when you said we got to beat it, I was like, oh, Michael
Oh,
Jackson.
there's another one. Yeah, right. They,
I just
I'm
started
telling you,
laughing. Yeah.
Jerry Lee Lewis, whole lot of shaking going on.
Oh, was it
W
Jerry Lee
Checker,
Lewis? That's right.
right?
Yeah. And Jerry Lee Lewis and Michael Jackson. And I just want to make a mention that Paul Freed is here, live
Live
from
from Disneyland.
Disneyland. I'm so glad you took the family to Disneyland, Paul. I
Yeah,
think
for
that
sure.
was beautiful. Hello, beautiful Millie. How are you doing, honey?
Millie, I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you.
Yeah, blessings. Leona's here. Barbara Hart Love.
I love
Um,
her avatar. That's gorgeous, Millie.
yeah, it is. It's new, isn't it? Wildflower ones. Oh, I think you got a new one too. Look at
Oh,
that. I don't know if they're hydrangeas or violets, but they're stunning. Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, 100%. Yes, please.
Chubby Check
Wildflower.
Twist again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elvis Presley.
Hi, Erin. Oh, no, you didn't get to sleep until nearly 2 a.m. Yeah. Last night was the first night that I really got a good night's sleep, I think, for several days. And that I was waking up every 2 hours the night before. And that was the morning that I had the visitation too. So hey, Mary Thornberry, and Victor's here. Hello, Victor. Truth Wave and Kathy and Wiki. Hey, Wiki, how are you, honey? Your work lurking. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So I have we've had Sharon Donnelly from Australia on several times on the show, and she does that the shaking, the somatic.
It's no matter.
And when I worked with her, it was really interesting. She was our family therapist for a while. And we would have a therapy session, a talk therapy session for about half an hour. And then she'd say, okay, go lay down. And you'd take your laptop with you to your bed and you'd put a couple of pillows underneath your knees, your thighs and your knees. And then you just sit back and let your body shake. And after a while, it would just shake voluntarily. And now, like if I'm in a sound bath or I'm doing vinyasa and yoga, at the end of yoga, my body just twitches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Getcha. Mine does too. Especially like when I'm tired.
Yeah.
And when you get tired, it's all your vulnerabilities come to the surface, right?
Yeah.
So that automatic shaking is like the sheer force. Like you can make it happen if you pretend you're sitting in a chair and lean up against the wall, and sooner or later your body shakes, and it still does the same thing. It releases that fright and flight, right?
Yeah.
Brings in all the adrenaline and oxy. What are those words? There's so many. There's so many of them. But your body produces that stuff naturally for its own sense of euphoria.
Yeah. And like a cat getting out of the water, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I was reading some stuff from this Ayurvedic doctor the other day too, and he said if you can shake like right after you wake up, just 2 minutes of shaking, moving your psoas.
Oh.
So get up while you're making your coffee and shake it, baby.
I may not be shaking, but I am doing heel drops. So standing up on your toes and heel drops, and then toe
Yeah.
while the teapot is boiling. Excuse me, so I can make my chicory carob drink.
Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. Leona, I'll be right back. Your dogs are freaking out. Oh, I hope everything's okay, honey.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hope so.
And Millie says she used to twitch and spasm a whole lot, way less nowadays. Yeah, because you got it out, Millie.
Yeah.
It is really good, but and I'll find times when I'm going into deep meditation and all of a sudden my arms will just twitch or something. And I know it's acclimating to the energy. Let's see, what was this? This is interesting, Mary. I thought it was interesting Jesse Jackson dying in energy just seems it was destined or has a space of sacredness. I guess we all do. Oh, honey, that's beautiful. So on Valentine's Day, I don't know if this was AI, and it's true because I haven't fact checked it, but they said that that arch in Italy in the water, the lovers arch collapsed on Valentine's Day.
Oh, well, what is it? Sicily is falling into the ocean.
Oh, really?
It's lost half of this one town.
You're kidding.
No, it just collapsed down this sheer drop. And it continued because it was like that spoon scooping itself,
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of damage in Italy, Sicily, all through that area.
Is that recent?
Is that recent, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just in the past week and a
Oh,
half.
I got to get my head out of the clouds and go listen to the news.
Well, we had such an uptick of earthquakes.
Yeah.
And in that region, in the Mediterranean, where all of those countries come together, Venice was being, Malta was being thrashed around. See, and there's the term threshing and thrashing is basically the same word, just different way of spelling it. And that's what's going on all around the world, and that is our Aquarius friend, you know.
Yeah. It that makes sense because I always feel like when we really mess up the human race, as we do, that's what the mother does. That's what Gaia does. She just shakes us off.
And that's what Uranus and Aquarius are about. Shake it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's such an important complement to meditation, because even just tensing your muscles and then relaxing them does the same thing to get rid of all of those deeply buried trauma traumatic occasions, even from our childhood, that we can't deal with, that we don't know where they're hidden. They're hidden so deep and for so long. So doing things like this, or like going out and having a primal scream, you're vibrating everything in your body. You don't want to scare any neighbors, so you might want to go do it in the woods where animals don't see.
Or in your car. I'm always a huge fan of doing it while you're driving.
Right? Put on Bohemian Rhapsody and bang your head as hard as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And Annie Bear just said Robert Duvall had passed away this week too. I saw that and I forgot all about it, Annie.
Chills on that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did not know. Oh, okay.
When I heard about Jesse, I thought, okay, where's the next one? But I guess I'd already heard about Robert Duvall.
Oh.
And yeah, it's really sad. Lady Karashka, right in the portal between Saturn-Uranus conjunction and the Ring of Fire eclipse.
Yep, we are. That's the threshold we're standing on. And that is what Uranus is about. That is what Aquarius is about. That's what Pluto's about. Even Mars is about that. That clenching and the release. If you're saying, do you remember being a kid and taking your hands and pressing them into the door jamb?
Oh yeah.
And then and then coming out of there, and your hands would just rise on their own. There's nothing you could do to stop it. It had to continue.
I remember that. So yeah, my kids and I used to do that all the time together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Superman.
I forgot about that. A lightness of being.
Yeah.
I remember. So I got hit by a car when I was a kid.
Oh, and I did too.
Oh my gosh.
But not bad. I got lucky.
I broke both my wrists because I stuck my hands out to stop the car.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Yeah. Anyway, so I broke both my wrists, but I remember when they took the cast off, it went like it just flew up.
Did it?
Yeah.
From the weight. Oh, especially back then, huh?
Oh my God. Yeah. It was a heavy plaster of Paris number going on.
Yeah. But,
right. It's definitely a lightness of being that we're coming into. And that's such a beautiful thing that as we change all these old ways, so Gaia is definitely shaken with us. Millie said, yes, I heard that Sicily is sliding into the ocean. Super recent.
Yeah. I haven't looked for a couple of days. I follow this gal. Silky is her name. She has an accent like she is from Scandinavia or somewhere, but I do believe that she lives in Canada now. And I started following her when Ashland happened, when the dam broke in Ashland. And so when I started following her, she was the only one giving it the right coverage. Right. And then she went right on with Flatten Blatten, which was the town that the glacier broke free from the mountaintop, and everybody died except nobody died except for one guy who was a shepherd who was out with his flock. And these were all things that were in dreams that I had, if you recall, because they're all in the journals. So anyway, I started following her then because she was giving coverage to things that nobody else is talking about.
And what's her name?
Silky.
Silky.
Silki.
Is she on YouTube or is she on? Okay.
She's on YouTube. And she's a little, like everybody's got that clickbait thing going on right now. So she does that to grab people. But sometimes she really is worth watching the whole show. Sometimes you get all the information and that's good enough.
Yeah.
In the beginning,
Yeah. Silkbait, or clickbait, that's an art. So I don't have
right. And show pictures that others are not, because she's got her finger on the pulse of Europe.
Yeah.
She still has family there, or she travels around and just doesn't divulge all that information,
Yeah. Well, there's so much information coming in right now too, that it doesn't get into the algorithm. So much science that's being released, so many things with the technology of the new telescopes and whatnot that they're seeing, all sorts of different forms. Telekinesis, that I can't remember if it was Finland or who, it might have been Finland, that's working with telekinesis. And Japan's doing major things. And I think it was South Korea too that was doing the rails that run on magnets. And so they're like 3 inches above the ground, but they're magmatized. Anyway. And it's funny because Magma was a big hit that I got for Read the Future for 2026.
Yes, I remember that.
And I hadn't thought of oh God, I can't even say it.
Magma.
Magentic. No, not magentic, but that's interesting too, Lady Nada.
Magnetic.
Thank you. I needed somebody to spit that out of this mouth, girl.
But magma is magnetic. It is all those protons and ions, and all that stuff is, when it cools, what does it become?
Yeah. Oh, Millie's oldest daughter is 22 today. What a day. Millie, that's such a beautiful number.
Right?
A master number. Yeah.
It is a, we always have the Lunar New Year on the first new moon of the year. And that is always this Aquarius moon. Now, that having been said, it isn't always an eclipse. So this is what is giving us a double whammy, because this is a good time to release, not just because it's a new year, but because we've got all the signs from Gaia herself. And it's got to do with the lunar nodes as to how it all works. I'm not going to go into explaining it because there's no comic book version of it.
It's a good thing,
and even I twist my tongue on that stuff. So.
Yeah, I would just I don't get all that, which is why I love having you here, because I don't need to get it. All I need is to hear about.
Right? I was in a meeting last night with a whole bunch of people, and I was called on a couple of times to explain the astrology. I bet, right? But I wasn't expecting it, so I was kind of like tongue in cheek. This is funny.
Aww.
This was there.
Interesting. So Paul's talking about, I think about, it's Anne, isn't it? Isn't Anne Mark's wife? And Rosemary was his mom, I believe. Anyway, so he has his brother-in-law passed away. He transitioned last week or 2 weeks ago. And now his wife, his widow, can feel him while they're in the park, walking with them in and out of the park.
That's great news, Paul. I'm so glad to hear that.
I think he would have he is enjoying being there with them.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like
vicariously.
Paul, do you think that he pushed you to do that? Do you feel like he gave you the maybe planted the idea in your head? I feel like lots of times our guides and loved ones plant little ideas.
Right. And if he was a thrill seeker, what rides is he pushing you guys to go on that you wouldn't normally go on?
Yeah.
Like loop the loop.
Yeah. Yeah. And Leona's talking about a crazy 2020, 220 being a
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's when we have the Saturn Neptune exact conjunction. It's already conjunct. They're already both at 0 degrees. But the exact will be when there's that 44 minutes of solar arc. So they have the same minute to minute.
Oh.
And then that will continue to affect it for quite some time, because even though Saturn will pull away and does move faster, he still is going to be in slow motion. So this is the thing that, if you remember nothing else, please remember this. We've had those two planets in Pisces creating mud for a very long time. We felt it, we lived through it, we've seen it play out universally in our own nation. And as far as Gaia goes, we've seen it play out with the storms and the volcanoes and the earthquakes and the oddities of collapsing um, um, sides of mountains and blocks of ice and the breaking apart of things. So in that, what you now are going to begin to feel is the clay, the water that's on top is beginning to evaporate because they're in a fire sign. They have left the water sign and now they are in fire together. So what is going to happen? We're starting to bake the clay. We're starting to make our bricks. We're starting to realign the foundation of the building. You can still live in your painted Queen Anne house, but that crumbling foundation of rock and tile, now you're able to go in there and realign all of that foundation. You'll be able to lift the house. You'll be able to dig the moat around to separate and be able to realign from the outside in. Take the stones and build something outside, your medicine wheel or whatever. So in that drying out and that new foundation, this is where we're going to see a bit of a role reversal. Neptune's the dreamer. He rules Pisces. He's the dreamer. He's the poet. He's always filled with illusion and many choices and can turn into quite a tempest if you anger him, right? Yeah. Think of that giant whale banging his tail on the surface of the water. Don't want to be in any kind of boat near that.
Yeah.
You could flip the whole boat. So with this, now we're going to see that Earth and Neptune is showing Saturn, who is the Hierophant, the school principal, the father figure, always the leader, always the judge, always the one who says, my rule. Now he's beginning to re-examine his rulership. And he's listening to the dreams that Pisces, that Neptune has put forward, that they had witnessed in Pisces together. And so while they're in this configuration together in close proximity to each other, they're going to be working on realizing what the dream is and how is it feasible. And then as Saturn starts to pull away, he's going to have that information with him, and he's going to have more regard for the dreams of others like us. And that's the beginning of the age of Aquarius. Here we go.
Yeah.
So that's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's interesting because it makes sense emotionally and spiritually and physically too. They say that there's a lake that came back, like, I think it came back 10 years ago in California.
Awesome.
And yes, it's right on a fault line, and
Uh,
because it's there, it has slowed down the fault, because it used to have quite a few really big quakes right there, and so it's really, yeah,
the rest
helping
of the
things.
February is really auspicious time. We have this big planetary alignment coming up on the 28th. And then March 17th is a big day. And there is every day and then when we get into July, it's like Pluto's going to be at 4 degrees, Aquarius is going to be at 4 degrees, and Jupiter is going to be at 4 degrees. And one other thing is going to be the North Node is going to be at 4 degrees, and they're all going to be in proximity to having trines between the two air signs are trined, and the two fire signs are trined, and it's the fire and air working together. And then in August, we have the lunar nodes shifting into
Wow.
Aquarius and Leo. Here we go.
Here we
Hang on to
go.
your hats, because here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting year.
Mhm.
So what do you think about? I feel like things are going to start changing come June, July.
Yeah, I agree with you, because the first impact, the trauma end of it all, will start to ebb back.
Yeah.
And all the shaking we're doing to get through this, and that includes everything, right? Not just the changing of the planets and the changing of the guard with that, but what's going on with the world and universe. And so we're going to start to see it really ebb.
Yeah.
Changes are coming. Shift happens, as they say.
They really do, don't they? And we kind of needed a collapse of a few systems.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Sure.
and not to judge people, like, but I do feel like a lot of people that are in power right now, not a lot, but a few, will.
A lot.
Yeah, it's going to look a lot different. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. We do need to buckle up,
You
Leona.
know, it's that old, just cast it out and see what you hook. Just cast it out and see what you hook. Only those guys casting it out and see what they're hooked, they didn't throw nobody back. They just hooked you.
Yeah, they really did, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah. Victor says he loves that saying, shift happens.
Me too.
Okay, Mary, I have to say I feel great. I'm excited about all this new energy. I did not really like 2025. I send many blessings and good energy to those who are finding it difficult. I gotta say, I'm with you on that, Mary.
Mhm.
I really am. I feel like because there's so much chaos going on and things kind of imploding and exploding right now, and that shaking, that big shakeup, there's that energy that we can walk into abundance as well. It's like a area of alchemy where, and so much compassion for anybody that's going through a hard time here right now too. But as things go up and down and all around, it means that we can find the energy that we want out of that and make it into something new. So like a lot of you here are so intuitive and so, sensitive, so empathetic. So I really feel like that's going to be something that you guys are going to be able to look at, and even your intuition is going to change.
Yeah.
Like it's going to get deeper. You'll have your senses, your clairs, but they're going to get deeper, more subtle. So
A quicker understanding without having to go back and read the footnotes.
yeah, and it will be like something that you'll just kind of walk into things and you're going to know it, and that includes vocabulary, because really on the earth we have all these different vocabularies, all these different languages, and so we will intuitively, like you guys probably know this, you'll be watching a movie and it'll be a foreign film and you know what they're saying, you get the gist of it.
Well, and there's that language, and then there's the language of the computer, the language of the astrology, the language
Yeah.
of the tarot cards, the language of the things you don't understand, the language of medicine, the language of old world medicine. And
Yeah.
those things come together through common root words from one language to another.
Right. And in the end, it's just all about presence, isn't it? Because once you're present, it doesn't matter that you intuit all these things because you're just there witnessing and in that Christ Buddha consciousness.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And as you get older, it's easier to accept a wider range of interpretation than it is when you're younger. Like that teenager who's trying to teach you the computer. No, that's not how you say it. You got to say it like this. Well, why can't the computer just figure it out? After all, it's got the whole world's information, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Al Crowley, lots of love to you, honey. She says, I'm feeling nervous, wired, and a bit sad. Oh, honor that. That is so important.
And that,
Really, really important.
so for this one, the shake would be great, but it would also be great if you just sat down, put yourself in that meditative state and clenched your muscles and relaxed them and clenched them, giving into that nervous, wired feeling. And then as you release that sadness, that's part of the healing is the grief, and you'll be able to release that. The deep-seated memory that of trauma that you are carrying with you comes out at these times, and we don't even know it.
Yeah, it really does right now. We're getting a lot of trauma that we're releasing, and things that we disassociated with, particularly. So recently, I had Rachel Grant on, and she works with somatics, but she works with a million different things. She's got her own program that she's developed called Beyond Surviving, and it's for adults that have been sexually abused as children, and primarily, but any of the things that she talks about, you can use no matter what the abuse was. Right? It doesn't have to be sexual. It can be that you were the momager of the family, or you were, this or that. So anyway, but it's really good tools that she has to help us with that. And I think a real important thing is how we label things.
Yeah.
Like when my husband died, and your husband died too. I mean, you guys weren't together, but you took care of him, right? You owned that. And when he was passing, and so it's like all of a sudden you're no longer the wife or the friend and the mother of the children. You're the widow, and you change your story.
Yeah.
And then who are we, right? Because we're so tribal. Like we all have our own thing in the tribe that we do.
Yeah, I look at my relationship with Matt is I didn't know how to quit being his spouse. Never wanted to be married to him again. But 30 years of being together.
Yeah.
How do you stop being someone's spouse when you know in reality you're the only thing that's been steady for 30 years?
Yeah.
So that's that some of that stuff comes into process in that pre-verbal stage where we can't say what it is we're feeling or talking about. We're still processing, and I can't get it out, and I just want to scream because I can't get it out. So that's to all trauma. So what if it happens when you're little and you still haven't even started talking yet? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So getting our story out there, we don't have to relive what happened, but the telling of the story is so important.
Right. Just how many times do you get in the car and just start talking? That's venting. You don't have to vent to anybody. You can just imagine that person is there.
Yeah.
And I'm having the conversation. And I can tell you it happens a lot.
right?
I'll do that talking.
And Carol, I love this. She says, I'm so tired today. I'm not sure why. Honey, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I've got a show coming up with Dr. Gale, and we're working on this new thing. And I'm like, I can't even find the cards or the book on it or anything. And I'm like, yeah, well, that happens.
I got 4 shows today. I'm like,
Y-
wait,
Yeah,
I can't do that, but that's okay because I know I'm, about to go take a break. So
yeah, good, good. Yeah. So, and honor that, because there are days that we are going to need to really take good care of ourselves. Like I made a huge pot of vegetable bean soup. I went to this international market yesterday and I got these beautiful fava beans and
oh,
all this produce, and I threw it all in there in the Instapot. And by the time we get done here, I'm going to have this beautiful thing. And I think, I might just eat this for a couple of days.
well, I made a big pot of vegetable soup myself on Sunday.
Oh, yum. You're such a good cook.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, Barbara, Big Sur, Calla Lily Valley is blooming. Oh, that's got to be beautiful.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to have to go look at that.
The calla lilies are in bloom again. Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah. Yeah. Being a momager is an understatement, because it is, as empaths, a lot of times we take on being the momager as a child. And then again, in relationships, like in family relationships and friend relationships. And then when we kind of need a break, just like Leona was talking about being tired and kind of worn out today, it's like, then it's a good time to kind of sit back and care for yourself. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of times, Lady Karashka, people become the dark sheep or the scapegoat. And because they thought differently than the others. And a lot of people that are abused, unfortunately, a lot of women in particular, and young men, or men anyway, and get that dark sheep thing. Yeah.
So that's where the vagus nerve comes in, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
Having to put that back together?
Yeah. You're right. When I said that, Annie Bear, and when I said tribal, I thought that's not the right word. Maybe secular would be better, because it's more like we're kind of looking at things in a different way. So say we've got 4 people, right, in our family, or 8 people in our family. There's one person that's usually the scapegoat, or one person that's the momager, and one person that's, the child, and then the youngest, right? The youngest can always be the baby, but the oldest and the second oldest are usually the ones that are kind of in charge, and the middle child. So there's all sorts of different things, or somebody's the breadwinner. So it's not that we don't all take part in all of that, but thank you. Yeah, when I said that, I was like, the other word that comes out sometimes for me that I think that we need to really look at is feminine and masculine, because I feel like those 2 words are changing too.
Oh, it should just be divinity.
Thank you. I agree 100%. I mean, there are so many things that we say, oh, well, it's all about fertility and abundance, with the divine feminine and nurturing. But then we kind of don't give it to our beautiful brothers and fathers and whatnot that have all those beautiful qualities, right? It's a yin yang.
Both, right? We got to have them both in order.
Yeah,
and we have both inside of us, and we're not honoring it.
Yeah, 100%. So I think you're right. I think when we do meditations, and I say bring in the Divine Mother, bring in the Father Sky, Mother Earth, and so I like that, but also I think that divinity, the divinity of the earth, the divinity of the sky. Mm-hmm. That's a great word. I like that. I think that might be my new thing. So anyway, yeah. I want to see Right, Aaron? I want to see that, the calla lilies in Big Sur too. Big Sur is one of my favorite places on earth.
That reminds me of Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant in the movie Bringing Up Baby, and he is a archaeologist that studies dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
And he's putting together, remember this movie? And he's putting together this dinosaur and he's got this clavicle and her dog takes off with
Yes.
the clavicle. Where's the clavicle?
Yes.
And she comes walking in from the garden. The calla lilies are in bloom again, which is a line out of some kind of, if it's Shakespeare, I can't remember, but it's a line out of some big play, maybe Romeo and Juliet. But it's my son was, my youngest was only, I don't know, 5 years old when he saw this movie for the first time, maybe 6. And we were in the van, a conversion van. So we had a TV with a video player, blah, blah, blah. And he's watching this movie with me, which is, of course, is my favorite movie from forever. And he's bursting out laughing at this movie. And so to this day, he remembers it.
I love that.
It's a great movie. It's hilarious.
Oh, okay. Garnet says, instead of finding people's Achilles, he'll find their divinity.
Love that. That's
so important when we see the light in our brothers and sisters out there. It changes the way that they react to us, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a new picture, Garnet? I like that one. I like your smile in that. Let's see, Mary Thornberry. El Crowley, there are YouTube videos that talk about benefits and how many toxins are released through the feet when you have a soak with as hot of water as you can stand. Yeah.
And at the spa, you can go and it's some kind of a salt bath. You'll be surprised at how rusty red that water is after having your feet in it.
Yeah, we have that at the yoga patch, and you guys hear me talking about that all the time. I teach there once a week, and then I do workshops there as well. And I do a wet sauna every other week. I try to, or every week, and it's been 3 weeks because we've had some stuff going on in the family. So just busy. So I think after we get done here, I'm going to run over and do that. That's available. Yeah. Taking care of ourselves is huge. Kingdom, seeking my soulmate, the true divine masculine. Mm-hmm. Right? And because they don't have to be in physical form, do they? I mean, it helps while we're here. But yeah. The divine masculine in their purest form. But anyway, so that masculine feminine is kind of getting, I think there's going to be a different name for it. And maybe not this decade, but the next decade. It's Fat Tuesday too, Annie Bear says.
Oh,
Happy New Year. Happy New Moon.
My neighbor
Tuesday.
From Poland, she made homemade kruszkis. And then she went and got home Busha made ponchki. And it was so good. I ate it like all in one breath.
What is that, ponchki?
Ponchki, it's jelly donut, but it ain't Dunkin' Donuts. It's old fashioned. Oh. And I told her, I said, oh, Busha, my Busha would make them. And then my grandmother made them afterwards. But, as she got older, it went by the wayside and everybody just got a whatever jelly donut, because it said ponchki on the box, because that's basically what it is. But this is a big lump of yeast cake and the jelly squirted in. And I love the prune, right? So she brought me a prune ponchki that had rose water in the prune jelly. Oh, it was like, I can't eat it all at once, but I really want to just shove it all in my mouth, right?
Yeah.
And it's that squishy bread when bread had still had good things in the flour,
Yeah.
So.
we're bread people here. We buy,
Yeah.
we just go to a couple of bakeries that do homemade bread.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly's here. Iron Horse Fire, J Cat Lady. Hello. Let's see. For the new year, year of the fire horse, we're not supposed to wash our hair, do laundry, sweep, or take out trash.
Well,
Oh, honey,
I got that covered.
I can do that. Yeah. Okay, I can do that. No problem.
Right?
Um,
How long can you go?
yeah, I love that. I love that, Kelly. So, a Scottish clootie dumpling, Garnet says. Interesting.
Oh,
My mom made we had kuchen, and kuchen is like kind of a Jewish pastry or Eastern European, and it's like a cookie dough almost base on it, and then you crumble the top of it or a lot of it up and with a little more flour, and you put fresh fruit on it, like we would do peaches or we do cherries or we do apples on it, and then you put that topping on it. And it's best like 2 days later when
yeah.
everything is soaked in and it's like all juicy. Oh my God, it's so good.
I was going to take me a month to get rid of all the gluten I've eaten over the weekend because it's Punchki Day.
Oh yes, please. I'm
On
ready.
Tuesday, yeah.
I'm ready. So so shaking it off
Yeah.
and really using that energy.
And crying is a good way to release it.
Yeah.
And how many times in my childhood, and probably many of us here, shut up, quit crying, or I'll give you something to cry for. I mean, that was a standard line out of my dad's mouth.
You know, it's interesting how the human species in the past several decades has had, or maybe century, it's been kind of a punishment thing. Like
Yeah.
with children in school, we're
Yeah.
punished if we don't bring in schoolwork or we don't understand something. With our own children and our kids or our parents, probably, you know, it's been a very punishment mentality.
You know, and it's the cathartic, what's the other word?
Cathartic.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
cathartic to do that. We have to embrace it. We can't get rid of it till we recognize it, right?
Yeah.
And part of that is embracing it. Oh, there you are. I see you. I love you. I'm so sorry. Bye.
Yeah.
Now, then you can let it go. You have to recognize first.
Yeah. And I think, you know, we were talking about this earlier, seeing somebody's light. Like when you look at your child or you look at your, you know, your ex-husband or wife or partner, and then you look at your, you know, your parents, even though they may not be in the picture anymore, the physical picture,
Right.
that that you look at them and see their light. And I think that's beautiful. So, like if you've been subject to abuse, you can still look at that person and see the good parts.
Especially when you think of how the generations were going back over
Yeah.
the last century and a half. Oh, hell, for the past 1,000 years. Because there's always been abuse. There's always been someone who wants to take your power away. And in so doing, you're demeaned. You are made to not only feel lower, but you are treated lower.
Yeah.
And you are kept there.
Yeah. And I just want to go a little bit farther with that because I just said something that was kind of explosive, is that looking at the good in things, it's not that we don't see the bad, we do. And we recognize it. But like for me, for instance, I had, well, Deepak, one of my teachers, okay, he's, you know, in the files, but then also you look at like my original teacher, Jerry at the School of Metaphysics, was also an abuser. But I got a 4-year degree there before I was 17. And that was, I learned so much there. And did I learn horrible things too? Yes. But can I now look at the really good stuff that I learned too?
and be able to separate them.
Yeah.
And also, do you think that we should look at it like, well, what did they know from? They probably had a worse bringing up than we did. You
Yeah.
know, did they come from abuse of that nature? And so they,
Most of them did.
because of their generation, didn't get educated as to how ignore it. Like there's just Catholic priests, and how many of them sexually abused boys and girls, and just I often
It's an
want to
ancient
think,
story.
yeah, and I want to think of it as this innocence, because they're going into the priesthood and they think making a vow to God not to do it anymore is going to take that away, and they're not going to do it. But they don't understand is it's their nature to be gay. And they've been brought up to believe that they are a horrible person because they're gay. And that's not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, what you did, you're an adult. You should have made a better choice. You should have educated yourself. You should have researched more, or you should have just been happy to be you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, Annie. There's no excuse for abusers at all for what they did.
Right.
Um, but we can look at, I'm just saying that if you were a child and this happened to you, or if you were last week, it doesn't negate the good things that you learned in that relationship too, because oftentimes the only time that they were shown love was when they were being abused.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make it good for them or anything
Right.
else. It doesn't absolve them in any way. It doesn't hurt less. But then when we look at, would we throw away everything that you learned in that relationship? Would we throw away our entire childhood and say, because then you're taking the shame.
Right. It's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Totally. Love is love, period, Annie. True love is true love.
Yeah.
And it's, it's messed up.
It's messed up.
But that doesn't mean that we're messed up.
No, because each generation, if we're doing it right, we raise children with roots and wings, and hopefully we've put some balance into the ugly things from our childhoods, so that the things that we made mistakes with, they can understand and they can separate, and they won't copy those mistakes. I always told my kids, remember everything that happens in your childhood. Remember it all. Copy the things you loved, change the things that made you feel small.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy birthday, Barbara Berkman. Good. Hello, beautiful. You're always here at the right time.
Yeah.
And Annie's always talking about this book, Richard Schwartz.
Yep.
I got to get it. Annie, I got to say, check out No Bad Parts. Yeah. Yeah. Alice, you're right. You're right where you need to be. Well, some people here probably have a lot of energy. Not me today.
No.
So, yeah.
Slow moving.
Yeah. Happiest birthday, Barbara. So, anything else that we want to talk about that? Let's talk about the week ahead. What's coming up?
The week ahead. Oh my gosh. What can we say about the week ahead? This energy isn't going to go away. Eclipse energy doesn't go away quickly anyway.
Yeah. It started really last week.
Yes.
Last week. And yeah.
And even farther beyond that, because, even though Neptune was already here in Aries and Saturn was still back there in Capricorn, they're still in conjunction because they've got a 5, 6, 7 degree orb. And you have to look at how long was this going on with them. So there's still a conjunction going on. It might not be hugging and kissing close, but they're still close enough to be able to hear each other when they scream. And then we've got this Uranus thing, right? Uranus has finally gone direct. Case in point, I have Mars at 29 degrees of Taurus, and Uranus is at 28 degrees of Taurus. Well, he's been doing that dance with Mars, my Mars, for 2 years. And oh my God, he's finally gone direct. And this time he's gone direct to go into Gemini, which is great because my Uranus is in Gemini, all the way at 29 degrees. But finally, we're all going to be feeling this forward procession, this ability to make progress, because Uranus is direct and changing signs, going into an air sign, which is what he has rulership over, because Aquarius is his sign, and it is an air sign, not a water sign.
Yeah.
So with that, and then Jupiter's going to change and get out of Cancer and go into Leo. So Jupiter at 4 degrees of Leo, and Uranus at 4 degrees of Gemini, and Pluto at 4 degrees of Aquarius, and the North Node at 4 degrees of, I forgot what I was saying. I forget what the other planet is. It's not the nodes, it's a planet. Anyway, there's 4 of them that are, 2 are in fire and 2 are going to be in air. And that's a big deal. And then we have this great big huge 6 planet pile up all in a row on the 28th.
And that's going to be like the first time in thousands of years that that's happened, right?
This, right?
1,000 or something.
To have all of these, yes, because Uranus is a part of it. And what you're talking about, this is the 0 degree. This hasn't happened since 4,861 BC.
Oh my God.
Okay. Now they've been in Aries together.
Yeah.
But never since way back 6,000 years ago at 0 degrees and 44 minutes. It's been somewhere else, and maybe not even a full conjunction, because every 37 years or so they're in the same sign. They're in Aries.
And I feel like 0 is like a really intuitive number this year. Even though we're in a 1 year, 0 is the beginning. It's the primordial, where we create, where we were created.
Right, because in astrology, we don't say 30 degrees of a sign. It ends at 29 degrees and 59 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit that 0, it's not 30, it's the next sign.
Yeah, it's the in-between, which is the gap. And that's consciousness, pure consciousness. Yeah, Christ Buddha consciousness. Yeah.
So, and we have what's called a stellium, 3 or more planets in a sign. Right. Yeah. So we're going to have 5. Right now we have 4. The sun is heading out to go into it's in Pisces. On the 28th, it'll be in Pisces, but the sun right now is still in Aquarius, getting ready to move sometime today. And we have Pluto, Astrea, Vesta, and Mars, and the south node, north node rather, is at 8 degrees of Pisces. But we have those 4 planets with the sun right now still lingering in Aquarius. That's a stellium. And that other, once the sun moves on, all of those stellium planets are going to still be in Aquarius. Then we're going to have 6 or 7 in Pisces, right next to Aquarius. So it's Aquarius, Pisces, and then we've got those 2 big boys sitting there in Aries, as well as Venus getting ready to enter there too, into Aries. So we're in this place where they're lining up and they're supporting each other. It's what I call bookends, parallels, 30, 30, 30. And whatever is in the middle is supported by the bookends. So, and then that switches, right?
So if I were 5 years old, tell me what this would mean to me.
It would mean you've got support.
Okay.
Because
that's important.
Right. So let's look at the geometry of it, right?
Oh, what a mess.
Right. And look at this pile up.
Yeah.
There's some houses that have nothing in it. And I have a lot of asteroids on here. So there's more than the average, because I do believe in asteroids. They're the buttons on our shirt. It's
Yeah.
getting those asteroids. Those are the details. We get those right. We can live with the other stuff up or down. But anyways, with all of this being in alignment together, Pisces, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries.
It's a
There's
party.
yeah, right?
It's a party. It's
Party.
an astrological party. I love that. I love that.
It's like, and if you look at this, it's like not just the teeter-totter, but the swing. The baby's cradle that you wind up and walk away from, and it keeps going.
Yeah.
Because momentum. Well, as it goes by, it's going to
Like a
flip.
pendulum.
And then you got the whole thing going around, and the water's still in the bucket. It hasn't come out. Why? Because centrifugal force is keeping it inside.
Magnetic.
So, yeah, magnetic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Iron Horse has to get her chart done. Diana's amazing at it. Amazing.
Thank you, Terry.
Yeah. And everybody, thank you so much for being here today. And Diana, thank you so much for being here. I know that we've got a lot going on, and Barbara is having her birthday. So happy birthday, honey. And I know she feels zapped, but I'm just remembering when my daughter, I think she had her 6th birthday party, and she was having one of those days, and she had a pajama day all day, even though she had people coming over and a big party. She was wearing her Barbie pajamas all day long.
Oh,
like,
it was the Barbie. It was all about the Barbie. I can relate.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
She is my twin.
Yeah, she totally is. Oh my God. Victor, thank you for being here. Everybody, a million thanks. And I like to say that because it always reminds me of Kelly Healer, because she has so much generosity and gratefulness in her heart.
Yeah.
But, and as do you, Diana. So, yeah, have a great pajama day. I think we all deserve it. All right. So we'll be on the dream show tonight too.
Yeah.
If anybody has a dream, come on by, and a dream, a vision, or an appearance, and everybody's having them right now.
Right. Share them, chat about them, help us figure them out.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. All right. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.